Okay, we are here. Gonna be a short live stream this time, I promise. Previous live streams, I say that we reached 2 hours. Not gonna happen this time. Welcome everyone. I'm gonna jump straight into the analysis as well though. What's up? Ooh, yeah, I went to the hairdresser. So my beard is gone, yo. Yeah, I look like a kiddo now. Okay, well, it's not fully gone, but it's back to 2 millimeters. Okay, let me get you guys on my screen, and then we're gonna jump into the analysis. I'm gonna switch up the way I organize the streams a little bit. I think it makes a lot more sense to jump into the analysis at the very beginning, and the ones that want to hang out after can hang out after, instead of me greeting everyone at the beginning. I basically do it after the analysis so that we can just start, get to the content, get to what matters most, and then do the rest afterwards. But yeah, so just a short list now. Sam, Rahul, Deon, Gloomore, LJ, Sean, welcome guys. Thanks for popping in. And yeah, we're gonna just immediately jump in as well, right? So what you see is that the resistance on my chart so far is holding nicely. The box between 88.1, 88.4. As mentioned in the morning analysis, absolutely no problem to continue ranging. Also in a wave 4, right? We have enough time as well with regards to this particular scenario. But this is the invalidation. And as prices here, continuing the range, looking for that potential 4. If we do touch the 618, it is important that I talk about scenarios that I then think about. And those are actually still mostly bullish scenarios because of the 886 touch, which, due to the 886 touch, probabilities are higher to take out that high at a later stage. But just to repeat the morning analysis, so this is the double zigzag WXY, right? A, B, C, and W. Then we have our corrective wave X over here, right, behind the box. And then another ABC, right? And that is the one in wave Y. So that gives you W, X, and then a wave Y, A, B, and then C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now price touched the 886. So in general, just because of the 886 touch, the bias, the directional bias from an Elliott wave point of view is higher to take out the high. Doesn't really matter too much what kind of corrective structure is here. Probabilities are higher to take out this high unless we get a diagonal locally, right? And that is when you're going to be looking to count a diagonal as a 1, 2, and look for a 3 to the downside. Wave 2 in a diagonal structure can hit that 886 more often than at least an impulse does. So that is something I at least consider, right? Now, if I do a few things that I did not talk about in the morning update, then what you can see on my chart right now is a fib time comparing W with wave Y, right? So fib time taken from the start to the end of W to the end of your wave X. And it is nice to not take too long anymore, right? Tomorrow max to actually move up and finish a Y if we do, because wave Y is starting to get a bit long compared to W. We are now past the 2 fib time, meaning wave Y is twice the length of a W in time. Not necessarily an issue, right? A wave Y can be as much as a 4 fib time, but that is when you really start to lower probabilities. It just doesn't look nice, right? Preferably your W and your Y are relatively similar in time and price, but in time we start to, of course, now pass the 2 and then move towards the 3. And that is Saturday, so we definitely have time before we reach a 3. Hopefully by tomorrow or at least maximum Friday, we are out of this range, right? But this is a scenario, of course, tracking invalidation for 4 is the 618, 886 touched, and we do have resistances above us being 90.3K and 92.5K. So very interesting indeed. However, if price continues this range and we go a little bit lower, right, then we're not looking for a wave 4 here anymore, right? No problemo. the probabilities at that moment in time remain higher to take out this high. Now, let me show you the other scenarios that I keep in mind. So again, these are only relevant if you actually touch this 618 at 85.6K, but it is better to be prepared instead of being surprised, no? So this is your WXY. It's a bearish scenario. You look for price to move towards the downside after. Alternatively, if you flip the resistances, bullish impulse, take out 95K. But here we come to, wait a second, I see Piper. What's up, man? Yo, Piper Academy, man. Thanks for popping in and joining the stream with all of the viewers of your live stream. Academia. So where are the hats? Where are the hats? But yo, thanks for popping in, guys. But okay, if you do move towards the downside and touch the 0.618 at 85.6K, we're going to look at some other scenarios because wave 4 is invalidated. First of all, a diagonal of the low, which is what you see over here. Now, in this scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a diagonal that would already be finished, right? And in this case, your 3, this has to be a 3-wave structure. It's a little bit tricky, right? That's why the other scenario is an unfinished diagonal. So we basically look at diagonals, right? The moment you touch the 0.618, you have to cover diagonals. And then you have this one, a finished diagonal, not yet finished diagonal, invalidation currently at about 84K, or the bearish diagonal. So as you can see, you're going to move into diagonals. Hit the 618, diagonals are going to be the higher probability counts in this move towards the upside. Now, this is, again, this is your WXY. It's a little bit different, right? Because now it's finished. This wave B has changed position. And then you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. That's a bearish scenario, right? Difficult to give it the highest probabilities. You would like to wait for 4 and 5 to be in. And also, of course, your wave 2, right, touched the 0.382. Or sorry, the 0.886 taken from the high to the low. And just to repeat, the 886, especially for an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 886 is incredibly rare. It's very low probabilities that a wave 2 touches the 886 and goes into a wave 3. In other words, probabilities are low. This is like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Right? Low probabilities, just because price touched the 886, right? So we need one fib to know those probabilities. But with regards to that bearish scenario, in the most bearish case, wave 2 in a diagonal, right, does hit the 886 more often compared to an impulse, right? An impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, low probabilities. In a diagonal, it's still not common, by the way. It's still very uncommon, but it happens more often. And if I remember correctly, I'm trying to find, because there was another, oh wait, that was here. It's already a while ago, but this move down, I don't know, it will always be remembered because we had 500, 600 views here. This was a diagonal, and in this diagonal, this candle touched the 886 of this wave 1 to the downside. This is the 4-hour chart, so this was a 15-minute diagonal. Wave 2 touched the 886, right? So, yeah, and you will find more diagonals where a wave 2 can touch that 886. So it's at least something that we should be aware of, right? However, let's talk probabilities again, right? So this is going to be the primary scenario. As long as the 618 is not touched, I'll keep an eye on this, right? I'll keep an eye on this. So we have our WX and then our Y. No problem to continue ranging for 4. Don't want to hit 85.6, right? Complex sideways structure, la-di-la. Maybe take out the low. Perfectly fine. No problem. If we do move down and we move from this resistance box down to support, right? Then we're going to consider diagonals. This is bullish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look for a bigger retracement continuation, right? 5 waves off the low. You always need a partner leg. So in the end, you're not looking for price to take out the low. You look for price to take the high, which also would be supported by, once again, that 886 being touched, right? Alternatively, and this is the one that you see more often, right? Also in Discord, unfinished diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes a little bit more sense here in the middle, of course, for your wave 3. Then you have a wave 4, which preferably is a zigzag family structure. So either a simple zigzag, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, or W, X, Y. Also in this wave 4, in a diagonal, you want to have overlap with your wave 1. That is by far most common. It is very uncommon to have no overlap between a 1 and a 4. The first time ever that I considered no overlap diagonals was actually with this move up. So it just so happens to be a consideration in this move here, but that's the first time ever really. But nonetheless, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by far most common to see overlap between 1 and 4 in a diagonal. So you basically want to move down to at least 85.3. And this is the invalidation. So you can see that there's not a lot of room left for price here, little triangle. That is your bounce area, right? For this diagonal. Yeah. So tricky, right? Not too much. And if we look at the support, then you can also see that this support box is on the invalidation for this scenario, right? And then lastly, there you go, bearish scenario. Your wave 2 here touches the 886. Again, a bit more common, still uncommon, but a bit more common for diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get a range down, takes a while. Then you look for a 3-wave move up, retracement, and then a continuation down. Trading-wise, it's actually relatively easy because any longs taken in this range over here, due to the 886, right, probability is higher to take the high. It only then changes with regards to a diagonal. If you get a diagonal, you look for at least another move down, but you get an opportunity to get out. Right? That's what that move up shows, and that was the same over here as well. I'm not actually sure if I can go to a lower time frame and still move all the way down to the 3rd of January. Let's see if we can make it. Yeah, 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we can. So we had a diagonal here on the lower time frames, right? Corrective structures down, 3-wave corrective structures up here, right? So you get a moment of relief. Any potential longs taken, I mean, context was a little different because of the push to the upside here, no? And now we've been in a move down all the time. But nonetheless, if longs taken, opportunity to get out, and that was the move down. We also had bearish CVD divergences here, but hey, that is history. That's already a couple of months ago. Now let me go back to the chart. There we go. So that is basically what I am looking for. So this 886 really gives a lot of information. It just gives probabilities to the bulls. It adds probabilities to whatever you get here, has a higher probability of being corrective unless you start forming that diagonal. An impulse is not invalidated, even though this, I don't know, this looks like a 3-wavy. I can't get over it. But an impulse, if you look for 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, it's low probabilities. It's not an invalidation. It's just very low probability. So a diagonal would make more sense for bears and then get that. No? So it's still bullish, still proven otherwise. So just to summarize, I suppose, make sure that everyone is aligned, including the people that just joined. Welcome, by the way, in case you just joined as well. Double zigzag scenario covered this morning, WXY, right? ABC W, X, ABC in wave Y, inside C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 886 adds probabilities to taking out the high. Even if you correct deeper, you're going to count this structure differently. Probabilities remain higher to take the high due to the 886. 886 taken from this high to the low and the 886 Fibonacci, very rare for a wave 2 of an impulse, very, very uncommon still for a wave 2 of a diagonal. But the 886 is a perfectly fine target for a wave B or a wave X in a zigzag or a triangle or a WXY or a flat or that sort of stuff. Of course, for a flat, B needs to go to the 0.9, but still, right? So yeah, that 886 is very important in this local trend up. The 618 is an invalidation for your wave 4 here, right? So you won't count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you do touch the 618, right? And resistance, 90.3K and 92.5K. Those are the two most important levels, close to price to the upside. Touch that 0.618, we're going to move to diagonals, right? And then we get to 3 different scenarios. We have an unfinished diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want overlap, minimum target, therefore 85.3K in the retracement. Not allowed to hit invalidation, currently at 84K. And then you want to see another leg up for 5. Alternatively, 5 waves finished, bigger 3 wave down, correction, look for a price to move up. You're still then looking for price to take out that high, right? So the bias remains the same, it's just your retracement is deeper, right? Deeper retracement down. Target areas here are going to play an important role between 83.8, 84.2 and 80.3, 81.1. Invalidation, of course, is the low. And the bearish scenario then changes to a diagonal down. The reason why I favor a diagonal down, if you do touch that 0.618 to invalidate wave 4 at 85.6, is because wave 2 touching the 886, again for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very rare. Very, very rare. Right? We barely ever see a wave 2 touching an 886. In a diagonal, it happens more often. It is still uncommon because it is much more common for corrective structures to touch an 886 than impulsive structures. But if you have to choose a impulsive structure, right, a bearish impulsive structure in this case, then the diagonal gets a priority over the impulse. So that's going to be the primary bearish scenario, basically, with then a finished WXY, right? And then you just continue to the downside later. So that is what I'm looking for. And ta-da. If there's any questions, let me know. I won't be here for long. Gonna continue with the day, actually. Also, I have a couple of questions. So maybe before you leave, a few things to discuss. 2 are in the title. 1, you will see a variety of thumbnails again, because we're back to our testing time, right? If we want to help more people learn more about Elliott Waves with the content on the channel, the live streams, the educational playlist on my channel, and all the free stuff we have everywhere, we got to try and reach out to you guys and make people click, which sounds very, very stupid, but that's how YouTube works. Right? If you want to help more people, got to have more people click on thumbnails. So we're going to be testing stuff, and therefore you're going to see a wild range of thumbnails flying by and titles and text and whatever. But you know, your host is always going to be there, and that is Lemon, right? So the webcam will always be on, and I'll always be speaking to you a lot, either in videos or during live streams like today. But at least you can expect some variety. The logo Koens will always be in the right bottom, though, so that you at least know if you see the thumbnail right bottom, oh, Koens, okay, that's a Koens video, even though the thumbnails can be very different in style, text, colors, you know, that sort of stuff. Secondly, what was the other thing that I actually have in my title? I can't even see my own title. What was it again? Oh yeah, channel content variety. This is a Bitcoin update. I pretty much have decided to do altcoin and potentially even other stuff updates as well. I get a lot of requests by email, Discord, DMs, even on Telegram and whatnot, to do altcoin, also especially of course during live streams, to do altcoin analysis. And sometimes we do altcoin streams where we cover a wild range of alts that are mentioned by you guys in chat, and then we go to the chart and but yeah, I get a lot of questions. Now, sometimes Bitcoin is doing absolute nada. And if Bitcoin is not really doing anything, I then consider to do an altcoin video. If Bitcoin is moving, I'll focus on Bitcoin. If I make an altcoin video, right, then I can still in the afternoon, right? So usually a video is in the morning. And if I go live, it's in the afternoon, Central European time. So if I make a video in the morning and it's a video about any alt, right, then if Bitcoin is moving later that day, you'll see me live on YouTube, right? And I will be updating Bitcoin on the same day. So we can still do even Bitcoin once a day if Bitcoin continues to move. Now, if Bitcoin is moving, of course, then I prefer to make a video in the morning about Bitcoin if there's new information to be told. But if not, if Bitcoin is ranging or nothing really changed, then I want to cover an alt. And yeah, once Bitcoin is moving again, I'll make a Bitcoin video. Yeah, basically, we're going to have a bit more variety on the channel. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the feedback is. You know, I try to listen as good as I can to all of your feedback, all of the requests, all of the questions. And then get to work in and do the analysis and hopefully people happy, no? Twitch. So, and if not, then let me know and then we'll know. But I think it would be good as I get many questions. Yeah, I once a week, right? So I'll scroll up in a second to check what happened here with all the alumni, the Army Piper alumni. What's up, Piper? Thanks for coming in with the squad, yo. All the alumni here. Cheers, dude. But what was it? Yeah, so I used to do like an alt stream once a week, but that's in the weekend. And now in the weekend, of course, I tend to do stuff with my wife, be out, family, friends. The weekend is also important for some downtime. I can, of course, do an altcoin stream in the middle of the week. The problem with a stream is, though, that I think if you separate the analysis per altcoin in a video and have a separate thumbnail per altcoin, separate title, so it makes it easy to find. I can then make a separate folder per altcoin on my channel as well, or just an altcoin playlist, whatever. I already have one. But it's a bit more structured, right? Instead of having 10 different alts in a 1 hour live stream or 1.5 hour live stream, I basically just focus on one alt in a bit more detail. Because during the live streams, I only did the daily or the weekly time frame, usually weekly, so very high time frame. But if I make a video on an alt, I can cover either multiple time frames, also lower time frames, and it gives me more opportunity to go in detail, which tends to be something that people like to see because, of course, I do a lot of low time frame analysis, not only high time frame analysis. And then by the way, of course, we just started Elliott wave analysis at, I think, like 5 minutes in. Now a bit of chatting, bit of Q&A, and of course, whatever. And the last thing, so first is, there will be a variety of thumbnails. As long as the Kunz logo is in the right bottom, it's me, because we're going to test and whatnot. 2 is alts will be covered, and we'll see how it goes because of all the requests. And I want to listen to you guys and make sure that I analyze as many of the alts as I can. And then if Bitcoin is doing nothing, I'll put out a altcoin video. If Bitcoin is moving, I'll put out a Bitcoin video. If I put out an altcoin video in the morning, Bitcoin starts moving afterwards, I go live on that same day, right? I'm always live a couple of times in a week. And what was the last thing? Oh, last thing. I'm really curious about this. So I am considering to, on Instagram, focus more on a vlog style type of content. So, of course, YouTube is the charts. You have no idea like what happens in the background. But on Instagram now, I'm considering doing more of a vlog type of content where I go about my day. I talk more to you guys and girls in stories, upload more posts because I suck with uploading posts. My editor uploads summaries of the probabilities of each video, but not like personal posts. So if we maybe keep YouTube analysis and Instagram what's Kuhn actually up to in the background. So that might be interesting. Earlier today, I received a package, and my wife actually filmed me unpacking and talking about what I received as well, which can just be interesting. You kind of see me in a different environment, and I talk about different things than the chart, and you kind of get to know me better, I suppose, in what I do, and where I am, and that might be interesting, more vlog style. So that would be Instagram. So yeah. Anyway, let's have a quick look here. Going to scroll up. Cheers, Bulent Ozdemir. Thank you, man. Abdullah Sun, welcome. Mark, Mark, man. You have been working in your house for a very long time. Welcome. Good to see you in the chat. How's the house? Make sure you send pictures when your house is finished. So Mark, you may have not seen him for the past weeks, but this guy's been working in his house and building, changing stuff, doing lots of work. Very impressed. And I look forward to seeing it finished. So keep it up, Mark. David, what's up? Army Piper, how you doing, man? If you don't know Army Piper, YouTuber as well. Army Piper does a lot of shared live streams with other people and stuff as well, discussing many different topics. So if you don't yet know him, make sure to check him out, which is not this YouTube channel, it's actually this one here. So there you go. And many live streams, lots of guests and whatnot. You can also see the schedule here. So, if you don't know him, 7.24K subscribers, reaching the 10K. Very, very nice. 10K is always, it's such a big goal, right? The 10K subs. Once you pass the 10K, it's pretty much the next one up is going to be, 25 maybe? 25K is I guess, a big number. But I think more when you think about social proof, 10K is important, right? Once you pass the 10K, you kind of have a bit of social proof. So if people see your channel is 10K plus, there's more reason to click, check it out, what's actually happening. And of course, the channel will grow as long as you keep putting out solid content. But good to have you here, Army Piper. Alexandra G, she's a model, basically almost every content or a crypto channel I know. What's up, Alexandra? Good to have you here. David, scroll. RS Miller, what's up? Thanks, Piper, man. How to get the target if the diagonal plays out? What's the escape point? So with the diagonal, of course, there's two targets, right? There's two targets. So specifically to answer your question, right? So this is your quote unquote more bearish. I mean, it's a bullish scenario, but this is a finished diagonal. So you take a fib for the sake of education. You take a fib from the start to the end of wave 5, right? And then your common target is the 05786, because this diagonal is then either counted as a wave A, you look for B and C, that's bearish, or wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. But the target area for a wave 2 or a wave B is the same, right? It's the same. So your most common target area is going to be between the 0.5 and the 0.786, which is 82.7 to 79.1 K, right? It's uncommon to find support on the 382 and fly, right? That's very shallow, right? It can happen. It's not rare, but it's more common to move into this area here. Right, so 84.1 is the 382. The 382 does like to act as a first area of support and then come back down later, for example. 886, again, it's very rare for a wave 2. If you go to an 886, B is pretty much left. Now, if we combine the fibs with my support levels, 382 on the box, golden pocket on the box, right? So good to be aware of it. So that is the target for this particular diagonal. For the other one, here, your target area is this triangle. Because wave 4 by far most commonly overlaps with wave 1 in a diagonal. which means that price has to move below 85.3K without touching the invalidation, which then leaves you this triangle as an area of support. So that, of course, makes it very easy. Yeah. And then you have your wave 5 target, and wave 5 is not allowed to be longer than your wave 3 in a contracting diagonal. So if your wave 4 would drop below 85, and let's say we bounce on the little order block here at like 85.1, right? Your maximum target is 92.7 for your wave 5. That's your invalidation, right? There you go. Oops. People sliding into your DMs. Yep. Questions, replies. Yeah. And sometimes, occasionally, I have like some exchange person saying, hey, you want to partner with us? But no, I don't. I'm very happy where I am now. I'm trading on Blowfin myself, and eventually Blowfin came to me, and, happy days. So, yeah. What's up, Bino? Man? Good to have you here. Mugandusi, what's up? Covered that. Abdul, thank you for all the knowledge. I trade on Bitcoin and Solana currently. Bitcoin, I guess BTC, Solana follow similar price action. Would you know which other alt might do this? May get more trades. I can't go through the whole list, but yeah, I can't go through the whole list during the stream. So basically, just go through all the different alts, right? Just hopefully you have a list. Just click on all of the alts and observe if, just like Bitcoin, you can see this on a 4-hour, 1-hour time frame. Right? So it will be very easy to see. Like, you can just click on any alt and be like, okay, this doesn't look anything like Bitcoin. Oh, it looks a little bit like Bitcoin, right? No, not really. So you can just go through the different alts, not at all, and just have a look. Also not, lol. Doesn't really look like Bitcoin as well. So, this one does. So, yeah. And of course, the thing is, every alt is like, even though there is, of course, confluence between an alt and what Bitcoin does, they are still different charts, right? So I do recommend to analyze an alt separately from Bitcoin. It's good to know what Bitcoin is up to, but also do another analysis on the alt itself, because your conclusion for an alt can be very different, right? Compared to Bitcoin. I think a great example is Ethereum, right? So if we go quickly have a look at ETH for the sake of this example here, then on Ethereum, on a high time frame, on the weekly, right? This is something we considered already for a long time now. Was one of the things we were looking at. So you can see ETH is a completely different chart compared to Bitcoin, right? It's like this is the weekly time frame. No? Bitcoin, of course, 2021, and then we had our bear market, right? We moved to the downside. Actually, we did this and then came to 30, a little bit higher, came back down, low at 15, pop, right? All-time high. There you go, right? Very different than the chart of Ethereum. And when you look at this structure, especially this one up, I mean, it was very tricky to count it impulsively. So that is why we considered a WXY, finished X, look for a flattened wave Y, preferably actually still a little bit lower for ETH, which can be in confluence with Bitcoin, right? Locally, we still have some support down here. We are currently at support. You can see a bit of a reaction here as well, right? So that's good to see, but wouldn't mind seeing a little bit lower. But it's still good to do separate analysis because your charts can be very different. Right? So maybe on a 4-hour time frame, this looks the same as Bitcoin, but then when you zoom out, you're in very different context. So it's still good to separately analyze an alt. In this case, I used Ethereum as an example. You can also just look how different it looks. You know what I mean? So, don't try to skip the work. Got to put in the work, else the losses come for you. We don't want that. Less alts and put a 1 hour limit. Yeah, but I think I prefer just having one alt, one video, and make it very structured, and then just cover many different alts. Yeah. Mark. Okay, not doing alts now in this stream because I can't stick out, like I can't be here for long. ABC, 886 top is B, C is 5 wave ending diagonal to the downside. I'm not really looking for an ending diagonal locally. We do have quite some bearish CVDs. I completely forgot to mention that. So we have the bearish, was it that? Yeah. So we have this bearish CVD. It plays out if we take the low. This one already played out, took out this low. And now locally, I mean, you can see we are in bearish market structure, more bearish CVDs. So it just increases the probabilities to go down. And that is why I think it was also important to cover the scenarios that I did earlier in the analysis. Yeah, I would personally just look for the alts that look good from an Elliott wave point of view, and then I just cover those. Yeah. Yeah. But just to have like one video, one alt, and different days, different alts, probably. What's up, Hendrik? Nice to see alt BTC besides alt USD. Yeah, I think I'll mainly cover the USD variant though. Yeah. Smaller local structure for wave 4. What's up, Jack? You're talking about this structure, or you're talking like very low time frame? Because I'm on a 1 hour now. So of course, for your wave 4, you actually want to have a 3 wave here. This is still a tricky count for a zigzag because this is very big, right? 15-minute. Big range here. And at no moment in time did we have a range that is relatively similar. But yeah, you would look into a W, X, and then A, B, C, and that is your wave Y. That would be a very wave 4-ish structure, right? Sideways double combo. Wave X being a double zigzag, W, zigzag, X, double zigzag, and then Y flat, or A, B, C. I mean, then this has to be A. Can it work? 0.9 touched, A, B, C, W, X, Y. Triangles can still work, but this is low time frames. So yeah, you want this to be a W. If we continue down, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Of course, that's an alternative. Then this has to be an impulse. It's tricky, but A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then you're likely, of course, going to touch the 0.618, right, by all means. And that is when you're going to look into the other scenarios that I covered earlier. Finished diag, unfinished diag, looking for a new structure to form. If you have no idea what I talk about, just go to minute, I forgot to pin it, minute 5 or something. I start the analysis there. That's a weird sigh, yeah, exactly. Hard to catch you with time zones. What's up, RS Miller? Mostly on the delayed videos. Yeah, my morning is, of course, for the US especially is tricky. But luckily, we are live often as well. And again, if price does change, I will be live. If I make a morning update and price doesn't really show anything new or worthy to talk about, then I'll just leave it with that one video, which then is all the information people need, really. No choke, I'm looking long. If we take the brief low in the 1 hour, good risk to reward would stop at 618. All right. It has potential. It has potential. Everyone, of course, has their trading style in that regard. In my case, and that would be personal, if I would look for something new, if we do take out the low here, then I would prefer to see price move back here in the range, touch at least these lows here, right? And preferably also see bullish CVDs, so absorption of market shorts with limit longs. That would be nice. Good day, Alexandra. Paul, what's up? How did you draw the invalidation for the diagonal? Good question. Of course, in this diagonal, the invalidation is the low. However, for this one, which is what the question is about, the invalidation is the channel taken from the end of 1, end of 3, end of 2. Because a diagonal by far most commonly is a contracting structure, and if you touch the lower trend line, it's going to be an expanding structure because you touch the trend line, which is not allowed. What I could also do, by the way, is take a fib from the start to the end of 2 to the end of 3, and that's also an invalidation. So I could even, if I combine both, which I didn't do, but I'll do it now. I could even move the move the invalidation. No, that one. Thank you. I could even do this and make this a triangle. There you go. And then basically make this smaller, a little bit shorter. It's getting dark here, eh? Out of nowhere. Light's gone, yo. Where are we going to put this? Yeah. Ah, well, you know what I mean. Yeah, that's also your. So basically, this is your area to bounce. So that is how you create the invalidations for a diagonal, in case you do hit the 618. What's up, Legendario? Mark 11K. I'm here from the beginning. I'm so happy that I found you. Welcome, sir. Emoji with the hat. I love my hat. Always get it when I'm live. But cheers. Welcome, Mark. Good to have you. I see another one. Don't you think there's a high chance that we take out the high after we take the low right there? So the high, taking out the high remains higher probability. With or without taking the low, I don't really care too much. I'm more interested in longs than I'm in shorts. And that is purely, that's just one piece of analysis, and that's the 886. We touched the 886. And the 886 just gives a heavy bias to upside. Yeah, we can move down and la-di-la, correct. But the probabilities are higher that whatever happens here, if price comes down, whatever it is, higher probability it is corrective, not impulsive, right? And then we take out that high at a later stage. It will only change if you create a diagonal, right? Because then you look for a bounce and a move down. In this case, this wave 2 of a diagonal more commonly has an 886 touch than an impulse, because the 886 is very rare for a wave 2 of an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Very rare. It's more common for a diagonal wave 2. So that would be something I would then look for. Otherwise, it's very likely corrective structure. It's not an invalidation for a wave 2 of an impulse. It's just very low probabilities. So that's all we trade. We trade probabilities. So, Been watching your channel for, I think, almost 5 years now, and it's been so helpful. Yeah, exactly, Mark. The channel is officially in existence for 2 years, 1 month, and is it 4 or 6 days? Was it the 20th of Feb or the 22nd of Feb? Oh, I don't know. I'm not too sure anymore. But yeah, 2 years, 1 month at the moment. So thanks for your support for 5 years. I mean, maybe you saw me first time in a couple of communities back in the day, possible. But not on YouTube at least. But the 886 plays a very, very important role with the probabilities. It just increases probabilities for upside. Of course, we are still hanging around the resistance. Rejecting nicely, that was the resistance, of course, we kept an eye on. So we are just ranging below resistance. I've tested twice now. If we come back a third time, the more often you test resistance, the higher the chance you're going to break it. To the downside, support, right? 84 and then 81, 80. Some nice areas there. But it's just that 886 gives probabilities to upside until you get not that one, a diagonal. And that is the moment where you are going to consider this as either an A, B, C, that is bullish, afterwards up. Alternatively, 1, 2, and down 3. Right. Then you get a 3, 4, 5 correction and continuation down, new lows. It's more interesting at the moment to keep an eye on the one. Yeah, I'm on the 4-hour time frame, but this is at the moment, like what's happening here is most interesting. I'm not really too interested in zooming out much. This structure now is interesting. And yeah, the 886 is important. Yeah. Also, if we do zoom out, if we do think about a triangle, even if this is C and you look for D, because wave C is counted as then a WXY, if finished, right? D should be a simple zigzag, which is a 535, right? And it should be at least proportionate to the previous wave. You can't just have ABC and this is your D here, and then E, and then that's it. It's too small. However, you now have an 886 touch, right? So even if you would 5, 3, 5, A, B, C, then wave 2 of the first wave A touched the 886, low probabilities. And in a wave D, you can't have another WXY, A, B, C, correction, A, B, C. You can't have two WXYs in a triangle. So then the triangle goes to shit as well, basically. But we've not yet touched the 618 at 85.6, but it's good to be prepared, and that's why I do the live stream. Right, this morning, I very much just covered one thing, and I mentioned if price moves towards the 618, I'll cover some other stuff. And I saw price moving down, continuation of the range as per the analysis this morning, right? No problem, I said, to continue the range. Keep an eye on some of the news events as well here that could lead to a breakout of the range that we are in. But it's, preparation is the key to success, as they say. So I answered this. No big new ETH. I haven't been on the charts myself lately, but they promised me 100K in this crypto stuff. We were at 100. Yeah, actually really fun. I'm gonna show this. Like when price hit 100K, I just got to show this. My friends, they basically made me a hoodie and also a vest with this. So Koen's Trading logo. This is the mascot of the channel, right? The raccoon. That's because of you guys, right? And then you have the price section. So you have the 15K low right there, and then 100K. And then you have the back. So it's cool. So when they came to France here, they because they're living in the Netherlands, they gave me that. That's really cool. Been trading for 6 years now. Is it possible to share some setups with you if you're interested and you yourself can see a win rate magnanimity? Well, it doesn't happen often. Sometimes I get that question. Now, this channel from the very beginning, and that's just values, is launched to educate people on Elliott waves. Right, that's priority. Elliott waves is very difficult, but it's incredible. Once you get the hang of Elliott waves, I think you have one of the best tools in the market to your in your toolbox. It's such a good tool, especially once you also combine it with some other tools. Right, so Elliott waves can give you a directional bias. You can also trade Elliott waves as it is, which is what I do. Right, but I also, besides just casually trading Elliott waves, I also have additional tools and things I can look for to get either better entries or exits or all that stuff, right? Including my boxes, for example. But I have zero interest to do things like signals or copy trading or, I'm happy to trade by myself and do my thing and, earn my cash. And yeah, I could live trade and people can trade with me, but it's not the goal of the channel. And I think people should fish for themselves in all honesty. If you do not want to put in the effort, so you do, because you've already been in here for 6 years, of course. But if people don't want to put in the effort to study, learn, build a plan, build a strategy, they're just not going to make it. You're just not going to make it. You're not going to be profitable. You can follow anyone you want, right? It's not going to happen. Because the moment you're basically depending your whole portfolio on someone else. The moment you're all by yourself, you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? You know what I mean? So no, what I teach is people to fish, build a plan, learn Elliott waves, and hopefully people can use that. So the answer to the question would be no. I will not share any setups. Sometimes I share ideas, right, which I did in a previous live stream, but I'm not sharing setups, which is a difference. So sometimes during live streams, I talk about how I trade, why I look for an entry at a certain place, but I don't actually take the entry on a stream, talk about like the trade and you know what I mean, like that stuff, right? So, and I don't mind missing out on viewers or subscribers that look for that stuff because they're not my audience anyway, so they may as well leave. Yeah, there's other people for that. Good morning, Lucky Deal, but congrats on being in the market for 6 years, which is already an achievement by itself. So, many people don't make it. Lucky Deal, good morning. Do you have the way on TradingView to observe the CVD? No, the CVD is a AGGR tool. So this platform is called AGGR, which is public. It's free. Everyone can make use of it. And you can find AGGR. The link, if you go to Discord, which is you go description, LINKTREE, Discord, and then here you have the website, and here you have old template, newer template or template. And then we have a one-pager that I made, including the video about CVD on my channel, which is the most viewed video actually on my channel, interestingly. Not doing alts in this stream. No. If it breaks recent low, does it confirm a diagonal? No. No, you need to have the 618 touched 85.6 before. As long as you don't hit that level, diagonals are not really too interesting. You want to hit that level, yeah. Don't you think there's a high chance that we take out the high? Oh yeah, so I answered that question. One of heroes. Wait, what do you mean? Heroes of the Storm, or or you mean Dutch Comic Con heroes? Both the 886s are tapped. Yeah, but the only 886 that matters is this one. Even though the lower 886, this is important, even though the lower 886 is touched, taken from the low to the high, and of course, price can take out this low, no problem. The only one relevant on the chart is this. And the reason why is that you always take the 886 from the beginning of a correction, which is this pivot, not the middle of the correction. And another reason why is because the 886 that you take from this low to the high can be the end of a wave Y in a WXY, and you go. This 886 can be a wave C of a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, up, right? So this 886 can put you on the wrong foot. This one is the one that's most important from the start of the corrective structure. If price, however, does continue to the downside, you're really going to change structure. That is when 886s, right, and you get a bit of a bounce, then price comes back. Now this 886 is interesting. So you're waiting basically for a trending, for a market structure, right? We're in bearish market structure. it changes. Also here we had an 886 touch, by the way, and here as well, 886 touch. Probability is higher, right? Price moves up, got to move down, touch 886, look for the high, takes the high, move down, touches 886, look for the high, takes the high, right? And you're in higher lows, higher high, higher lows, etc. Another 886 in that structure. So yeah, that's the 886 that matters is the one that starts, right? The one taken from the first move of a corrective structure. Only when you continue that trend are you gonna start looking at pulling 886s from lows to highs to get the probabilities of continuation. Many moons ago. 20th of Feb. Thanks, Mark, for checking. Okay, so that means the channel is alive for 2 years, 1 month, and 6 days. Thanks, Mark. Mark knows it better than I do. I think I'm here at around a few hundred subs. That's true. One of the OGs. I still have a list, Metchy HK, of the first 100 people that joined my Discord. When Discord launched at 1,000 subscribers, I wrote down every name that joined until the first 100. I still have the list. So yeah, I keep track of it. Yeah. I'm not sure what I said here, but it was good, I see. Or you were talking about this here. I believe we were discussing Elliott waves. Otter Gang. What do you think of the support resistance levels of weekly and monthly open? That's good. Yeah, you can use any support resistance level, right? Like you can use trend lines, weekly, monthly opens, closes, point of control of the month. Anything can work, but it's good to collect data before you really use it for your trading. It's good to find a pattern. So the VWAP, right? You can use VWAP, many other indicators. But if you're new to the VWAP or new to monthly open or weekly open or close, before you start trading it, first track a little bit of data or at least wait and observe a couple of monthly opens, a couple of weekly opens, see what price does and get a feeling of how well does it bounce, does it hold, how far does it generally bounce if it does create a reaction, right? So yeah, don't immediately trade it, I suppose, unless you have some data, some experience. So what I do, that's it. I agree with you. Just what? Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, you're always free to share. You have people in Discord as well that put the what is it? This one on the chart, right? And they talk about, okay, I'm currently looking for this, and this is like my position that I am keeping an eye on, and that's perfectly fine. The only thing we do not allow in Discord is the P&L pictures because it doesn't help anyone. But people sharing their analysis, and then if the analysis is accompanied by something like this that happens to be on the chart, right? They have an Elliott wave count on the chart, and then they happen to have the position thing here, and they copy this image and they put it in Discord. Yeah, no problem, no problem. But we don't do P&L pictures in Discord. But yeah, that's no problem, Abdul. Sorry that I got you wrong there by text, and it's not always easy to get exactly what it's about. Good morning, Agent J. Greg, what's up? Looks like we may get the flat for wave 4 before moving up to 90K. Well, are you looking? If you talk about a single flat, this has to be the B. And then C, 1, 2, you still need 4, 5, of course, take the low. So, yeah. Of course, the longer price is ranging here, the quote-unquote more bullish it is because the volatility is out of the move. Did we take? Let's see. Which one is higher here? Is this 304.10, 302? So that's a lower high. I could still expect a bit lower. Would work with the bear CVD. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So yeah, I would actually. it would be neat to at least take out the double bottom here. Do I still have this? No, I don't. Back in the day, I had double bottom and double top in my list, but so yeah, and then 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Take out that low, and then the question, of course, is: do you get a 4 similar to this 2? If you do, you're gonna hit the 618. Then I'm interested in looking for supports lower, 84.8, or we go 84, and that is when the diagonals come into play. Yeah, very nice. So far, resistance is holding. Live from Spain. What's up, Patrick? Yo, you're back in Spain again. Shitty cold European weather. Spain should be decent, no? I don't know. It's 15 degrees here today. 16, 15, something like that. Focus on trading now. Yeah, back at it. Next for the next trip. Yeah, so Patrick, everyone. Wait, let me pop it on the channel here. So he has a YouTube channel with his family. Let's see if I can finally find it. Just be free. There we go. Up. And Patrick is the guy that you see in this video. That's his wife and the kids, right? And they create content in Dutch though. So if you're Dutch, it's interesting for you. And they basically sold everything they had when Bitcoin was pretty much at the low. And they have been traveling many places since then, basically living off that investment, right, in the markets back in the day, and they're doing very well for themselves. And it's nice to follow their story. So Patrick, back again in Spain. Welcome back to Europe. No? Omar, what's up from Turkey? Good to have you here. Nicholas, I'm a bit late to the stream, but so your update from this morning isn't the one with the highest probabilities. 618 isn't touched, so it still is. It's the 618. As long as the 618 isn't touched, the diagonals are not very interesting. The moment you touch it, that's when the diagonals come into play. So that's also what I mentioned in the morning, is if we do move down to the 618, I will start to cover some other scenarios just for your information, which is what the live stream is for. Yeah, that is why I'm here. So we got a continuation of the range, right? Which is also what we wanted to see for a wave 4 anyway. But if we do move to the 618 and we got a bit of a move down, I thought, okay, let's cover some alternatives. It's been a quick 2 years. Yeah, it flies. It flies. We'll see where we are in a year time again. Yeah, I think there's a lot to improve. So I've been so focused on making content. I've never really done anything with titles, thumbnails, and I'm now at a moment in time where I'm like, okay, I probably should learn more about how YouTube actually works. So far, the only thing I did is just make videos about what I like, and it's very basic. We don't, the thumbnails are all the same, pretty much, except different title, different text on the thumbnail. But it looks very professional, very educational in a way. But yeah, if you want to grow a channel, you got to have a different approach as well. The content itself remains the same. It's just the thumbnail title might change. And that is when you are going to look into experimenting again and learn more about, okay, so how does YouTube actually work? I just started with no expectations making videos. And now here we are. And then time flies. And then 2 years later, I still don't know shit about YouTube. But we're at 16K subs. And yeah, it's about time I learn a little bit more about how this platform actually works. So, it's been an interesting journey for sure. Hendrik, next year community skiing in Austria or France? I mean, I would actually so I've been to Austria many times and now I live in France. I would actually dig it to go to France. I've never been on skiing holiday to France yet. So I'd be interested to see what happens here. How is it in France? So yeah, I'd probably be looking for France. Don't know, since when I started following the channel, I think like 3K. I learned so much already. Still a lot left to learn. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I can see, of course, like with those with the years, 2 years now, but I can see the names that comment and are here during live streams. I can see them. Those are the ones I remember because they're always here. So yeah, 3K, Kevin. 3K. When were we at 3K? We were at 3K around February, March, April. April was 1K. May 2. I think 3K was around June, July 2 years ago, suppose, something like that. I wish I was there when it was created, but thanks that I have found it would still being unprofitable. Yeah, I mean, thanks for being here. And if you are here and you enjoy the content on the channel and all the educational material and whatnot, hit the sub. And if you don't like the content, do not hit the sub or unsub. Free will on YouTube. But thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for hanging out. If there's questions, that's what the live stream is for. But Abdullah, you're one of the quote unquote newer. Not one that's already been here for 1.5 years, but it's nice to see also Mark earlier, Mark 11K. First time I think he caught this live stream. Really cool. Also nice to see new names coming in regularly. This channel needs more eyes. I learned more from a few months with Koens than 4 years in university. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, what do we say? I'm happy to help. Depends on your study maybe as well. I don't know. Blame someone. No, he blames himself basically. I wish I was here when it was created, but thanks that I have found it. If not, so if he wouldn't have found the channel, he would still be unprofitable. So hopefully now Abdullah is profitable or aiming to be, or reduced his losses or break even, and he's on a upwards trajectory. But in the end, right, what Mark says is true. The context of what Mark says is true. Mark 11K is if you are profitable or unprofitable, it is all because of you. In the end, no one pushes the button. No one can make the decision to enter, not enter, and so it's all you. And that's also what I suppose makes trading very nice, right? If you do a good job, you will be profitable, right? It's all on you. If you keep studying, keep learning, keep making plans, keep reviewing your trades and journaling, and you put in the work, like that, it's gonna click at some point, and you're gonna have a very good time in the markets. If people are lazy, look for the next 100x shitcoin and try to copy trades and all that stuff, then it's a matter of time till the portfolio hits zero. I don't really believe in that stuff. David, P&L percentage of win-loss is totally useful for Rupa, and they can be easily faked or changed. Also correct. It's not good making other trades emotional for no reason. Also correct. Emotional risk and trade management. I agree 100%. Yep. So, like your win-loss ratio or your win rate is related to your risk-reward ratio. All right. So those two should be combined, because you can have a win rate of 90% and be a losing trader. Right? You can have a win rate of 10% and be a winning trader. Right? And indeed, it's not good to make other traders emotional. I think that is actually a very interesting one. And I, as mentioned, agree. Like my quote unquote video should not create a hype in someone's mind or a certain emotion. It's informative. I share what I'm looking at. This is how probabilities change. This is the invalidation. Those are some targets, supporters, tada, But everyone should do their own thing. But you also, of course, have the channels. And I'm a very calm person, which I guess people that have been here for longer will know, or maybe you just joined and you'll notice. But there's, of course, channels as well, and don't really want to refer necessarily to Moonboys and stuff, but the channels that are very shouty, very hypey, very we do this, we do that. It's gonna, price can only go this way. price can only go that way. No eye for the risk of both sides and probabilities and knowing invalidations. And I've been there. That's where I started, watching those type of channels. And I know how it plays with emotion because I was incredibly emotional in the beginning with my trading. So it also affected me, right? And the moment someone says, oh, we go now, and you're very inclined to like, oh shit, oh shit, it's going to be a massive move. I'm going to miss out. And you click that button. And of course, the moment you click, it fucking tanks. And then ta-da. Oh boy, been there. This week, a new video. Sorry for the long period not posting, but busy with our Asia trip. Thanks for the shout out. Don't forget to smash the thumbs. Cheers, Patrick. Yeah. You're living life. I mean, you're traveling, you have your family around you, you're making content whenever you have time, no? Whenever you have time. So, perfect combination. I think Grenoble is a great skiing area. I'm not really too familiar yet with ski resorts in France because I've never been to resorts here. Only Isola 2000, which is 1 hour, 40 minutes driving or something from where we live. Ice Cubes Lady. Hi Koen, I'm watching your live stream but can't comment while watching on the screen. Yeah, probably like a phone or something. But hey, Ice Cubes Lady, thanks for being here. Ice Cubes Lady has been here also already for a short while now. I would say half a year-ish. It's an average half a year-ish, maybe a bit longer. From, I believe, Ice Cubes Lady, Canada, no? Traveling to Europe sometime soon, I believe, as well. Moho. Also a no name. Sorry, have not been around much recently, as not at a stage to learn Elliott waves, but always mad respect for Koen and comment this channel to anyone getting into Elliott waves. Merci beaucoup. Je appreciate that. Cheers, Moho. Thanks, man. Yeah, and there's a lot more educational stuff coming. We're working on the compendium, the Elliott Wave Compendium, which is going to be, in my opinion, very insightful. But of course, we're creating it, so maybe you think I'm biased, which I cannot say I'm not. But I will show some. Wait, maybe I can show a teaser of how it looks like. I'm very proud on how it's looking. Wait, let me do some click. 1 second here. Let's go down a little bit. Wait. It's coming. Okay. Focus on, let's focus on this page first here. Okay. So I'll wait. I clicked the button. There we go. So yeah, this is an example of a page. Now, this is already page 22. That is when the structures start. Before this, there is a lot of information about Elliott waves, Fibonacci, the 886, blah. There is so much info in there. Lots of graphs, right? So this is the page of an impulse. This is like lots of info. This is in Canva, right? So lots of information. We write down the subwaves, the mode, subwave structures, volume, rules, guidelines, tips, position, Fibonacci time, Fibonacci ratios with our own created star rating, wave 5 target areas and the ways to pull them specifically for this impulse. And then there is impulse extended, wave 1, extended 5, zigzag, double zigzag, triple zigzag, flat, expanding flat, running flat, regular flat, WXY, all the triangles, like you name it. It's all going to be covered in this double. Also, 112 is also in here. And besides, by the way, the structures, right? There's information about information, as mentioned, on Elliott waves, on Fibonacci, on the 886, on retracements, on Fibonacci time, the structures, probabilities table, right? So what is high probability, low probability, blah, blah, blah. Both bullish and then also a page with bearish structures, so you know how it looks the other way around, channeling in Elliott waves. Like, guys, we've been working on that stuff for 8 months now. So, yeah, it's a lot more education is coming. We're also creating or we should create later this year, a platform where while I was on holiday the past 3 weeks, it's not that I'm doing nothing when I'm on holiday, because I always have Elliott waves in my head. I'm trying. So when I cool down from the charts and I'm not really, in front of the chart, I'm thinking about different things. And one of the things I thought of is creating a platform where I can educate people in basically a 3-step process. So I got it. I can't tell you about this yet, but basically a way to learn Elliott waves in 3 different steps. That should be executed on later this year. I'm not sure if it's going to launch this year. I mean, it would be nice, but yeah, it's something that I thought of when I was on holiday. If you go skiing, I suggest Saint Moritz. Absolutely beautiful skiing area. Plus, the lake is amazing for ice skating. Oh, wait, that's in Switzerland. Oh, St. Moritz. Ah, yeah, the lake. I see. Yeah, I see. Oh, wow. Very nice indeed. Let me get this picture on the screen here. 1 second. Open picture, open image. You will find pictures online, but here's the lake. And then this is the ski resort. I mean, that looks amazing, eh? So this here is 2,000 meters. And the lift goes, I mean, this lift goes all the way to 3. That is 16, so that's red. And then what? Black is, I suppose, the lift up. So lift up. This must be a big lift. And then you start at the top. Red. 16 into 34. No, you probably take the lift here, go to this peak. And there you go down 17, and then you end up here. Okay, so this is I mean, relatively quote unquote small. This is like 700 meters. But you can go down from 3K and then all the way to 2.2. Oh wait, even deeper. You can take 25 down, go all the way to 1700. Holy moly. That's a long trip down. That's nice. That's nice when you can stay on your board for a long time and just have breaks on the mountain instead of going in the lift every time. We're in dry season, 35 degrees day, no rain. Eee. Would a truncated 5th wave still need to break the high? No. Truncation basically means you don't take the high. They're very rare, truncations though. I mostly watch video streams in the car, so I hardly comment or interact. As soon as I'm home, I can rest or I can't rest anymore. So I always watch them out and about. Yeah, I know what you mean. But also, I think most of the people watching, and they're lurking, they're chilling, they're watching, they're maybe making notes. They just have something running in the background while doing some other work, which is perfectly fine. When I watch live streams, you barely ever see me comment in live streams. I'm usually a lurker, both on Twitch, on YouTube streams, on any live stream related platform. I'm usually just watching, not interacting. I'm that type of guy. Koens got his spring haircut. That's true. Yeah. I went for a haircut earlier today. Wait, why is my Alt 1 and stuff messing? There we go. So the top is still long. I didn't actually cut the top. It's a bit fluffy because I washed it, right? And then the sides is where the short. It's French coupe, right? French coupe. So, yep. Back at it, and also the beard. So it starts 2 millimeters, and the beard is also 2 millimeters all around. So it moves nicely from the haircut down. There we go. Talking about Bitcoin and Elliott waves the one moment, and then we talk about my haircut. Yep. This streams can go anywhere. Thanks for the peak of your book. Yeah, cheers, Ice Cubes lady. Yeah. Working on terms and conditions with the lawyer and stuff as well. It has to be done in order to publish a book, both as a Kindle version and then later printed. I've actually never been to Switzerland for skiing. Should do that. Today I will post it on my Instagram story. I received new snowboard gear, so I got new boots and new bindings. And my wife recorded me unpacking stuff. So earlier in the stream, we were talking about maybe I should do more vlogish style stuff on my Instagram stories and posts instead of probability videos on Instagram, because YouTube is mainly focused on that stuff. So cheers, no choke. Have a good time, man. It's almost summer, and that is why. Yeah. And also here, we can still snowboard here for another month, basically, in the mountains. So got new boots, got new bindings, and got a new snowboard that should arrive tomorrow. But during the video, you can see me unpack the booth and the bindings and talk a bit more about the tech. It's very interesting. 37. Yeah, it's very warm. Again. You can ski down to some hotels. That's what we had in Austria last week. Our villa with the friends was next to the snow. We just walk to the snow. We drop our board, go down to the lift, and then all the way up. Perfect. What's your opinion on? I can't do alts at the moment, Ram, but there will be alts that alt will be covered in videos on the channel as well. So, but I got to go as well. Come on, Bitcoin. Exactly, GTP Sleeper. Okay, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I got to go. Got to get my ass to the gym and then continue with stuff afterwards as well. Right. So lots to do. So little time. So thanks for being here. See what the range gives us. Right. Keep an eye on the 618. If touched, we do move into diagonals. If not, we just look for the WXY and another 5 and keep an eye on the resistances. But yeah, the bias stays the same at the moment because of the 886 touch, increasing probabilities to take the high at a later stage. So yeah, got to be patient. Also be aware of the news, of course, tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see where price is tomorrow. All right, we'll see. Thanks for being here, and I will catch you at the next one.